What's going on, guys? This is going to be another shop tip video, this time about installing a ceramic glass platen liner on your flat platen for your grinder. I happen to have a no-weld grinder sander, but this will work really for any grinder with a flat platen. I've seen guys do it on even the 2x42 Craftsman, the Baders, Burkings, KMGs. It really doesn't matter as long as you have a flat surface to mount your platen liner to. That's really all you need. And what this does, this actually reduces both friction and the wear of the flat platen. Believe it or not, glass actually wears even slower than a hardened steel. And you'll get a lot longer life out of your flat platens, and you won't have little dishes and divots showing through to your blades when you grind. And even the smallest of humps or imperfections will show through, especially on the fender belts. And you can see this is actually the one I replaced. It's got quite a bit of carbon buildup from the backs of the belts, but you can also see where it's starting to wear on each end for the wheels, as well as in the middle where I do a majority of my grinding. And really for hogging off steel and metal, I should probably be using contact wheel, as that seems to take abuse a little bit more than even ceramic glass platen will. But nevertheless, this one's time to change. I may even try to reuse the backside as it's still flat. Just want to make sure that I have enough of a ledge and enough surface area to use my double-sided tape. But what I do, and I think I already made a video at one point either on this channel or my old one, but just to go over things again, what I do, I have just a flat piece of mild steel. It's about 3/8 thick by just over 8 inches long. I want to say about 8.5 inches long, and that's to accommodate this little ledge at the bottom. And I simply order some 2" by 8" ceramic glass from usa.knifemaker.com. There's one or two other suppliers that carry it as well. But I get an 8" piece from them, and then what I do, I like to clean it extremely well with either some Windex for the glass or even some acetone. And when I get done with that, I'll actually run the torch over it, both the metal backer or the platen itself and the glass, and that'll just burn off any excess dirt, any excess residue from the acetone that hasn't quite evaporated. And then what I like to do is take a piece of exterior grade carpet tape. The brand I've been using is Duck brand tape. I got this from my local Menards. You can get it probably at most big box stores, maybe even Walmart. But this stuff is extremely durable. It holds its bond pretty much for the life of the platen. I've never had one of these slip on me or even start to come off. So I do trust this tape. It's probably going to be the only brand I ever use. I believe it is an exterior grade. I think it lists that on the package. It does not list that on the roll here. But nevertheless, I'll cut a piece to length for both the metal back and make sure that I press that very firmly on. And then I'll do the same for the glass piece. And the reason that I use 2 pieces of tape instead of just one is that I know I can get a perfect bond and a good seal on each individual piece. And that'll account for any very minor differences in flatness. Although this glass should be perfectly flat, you never really know, and you might be off a couple thousandths here or there, and I kind of want to give myself every advantage there. So I'll put a piece on either side, press it down as firmly and as hard as I can to make sure that I get a good bond on the freshly cleaned surface. And then I'll go ahead and line both pieces up, take the backing off the tape, press it together, and just kind of give it a little bit of a pat down, press it real hard with my hands. And really that should be all that you need to do. The most important thing about this process is definitely going to be this ledge. This is really probably what takes a majority of the load as far as your downward forces from your belt. And what I have here is simply just a piece of 1/8 inch mild steel flat stock that I drilled and tapped. And I think I even put some epoxy behind it just to kind of hold things in place, or maybe some JB weld on the screws or some Loctite. And you just want to make sure that's extremely firm and square to your platen. And that's really what's going to keep your platen from sliding downward or coming off, especially when this thing gets hot and the tack on this tape starts to loosen up a little bit. Again, I've really never had a problem because of that ledge. I really wouldn't recommend going without that ledge. I know some guys do. They'll use either epoxy or a JB weld. I've even heard of guys using super glue. I really wouldn't trust it without that ledge, though, because epoxies and adhesives do fail. This ledge isn't going to. So when you got the force of your belt holding it against the platen, even that downward pressure isn't going to loosen that up. And I do from time to time kind of check the side to side as I'm grinding, make sure it's not wanting to slip. I'll pull lightly out on it. Again, I make sure I have a good bond. And over several years of using this double-sided tape with the ledge on my flat platen, I've never had an issue. I'm sure there's a first time for everything, but I'm fairly confident in this setup. So that's pretty much it, guys. Again, you want to use ceramic glass. Just a regular plate glass will not work. You want something that's tempered and going to hold up to those high temperatures, and there's really nothing else but ceramic glass, which is harder than steel, much harder than a regular window glass or plate glass that you would find on anything else. And in my opinion, it's even superior to hardened steel and should last quite a bit longer. I've gotten many hours of grinding out of this, and even now I could probably flip it over, clean the tape residue off, and use it again if I make sure that I have a pretty stable ledge on the bottom there. So I know that's a lot of talking, kind of a long shop tip, but definitely want to do this right, play it safe, and you'll get a lot more efficiency out of your flat platen and out of your grinding. So thanks for watching, guys.